They were put up during the Jim Crow era to intimidate African Americans and erase history long ago by whitewashing the cause of the Civil War. William Faulkner summed this up when he wrote, "The past is never dead, it's not even past." And when you read the endless tit for tat on social media with all the insults sewn in, it shows what Faulkner meant when he wrote, "The past is never dead." And the debate we're having today can be seen as a monument in itself to how much we've changed and grown, and how old wounds still tear us apart, and how some people on both sides can still find common ground. Which brings us to tonight's We the People. What if the men who fought the Civil War and paid the price in blood could listen in to what's playing out today?
We are not going to go quietly into the night.
And they could listen in to how it still fires up such passion and conflict.
You wanted me to yell at you, now I'm yelling.
And how it still tears us apart.
You didn't vote! I didn't vote! He didn't vote!
They might be terribly confused.
I accept this monument in the spirit of brotherhood and peace.
75 years after Gettysburg, Union and Confederate veterans stood together. And look at this. They joined hands as Americans. That's how Ginger Rudiger remembers it, and it's why she still pays her respects to the Confederate dead, and why she honors her great-great-grandfather who fought for the South.
They had to feed their families.
And it's why she leads Florida's United Daughters of the Confederacy, which put up this Confederate monument in Tampa more than 100 years ago. Do you see the other side's point of view in this?
I do.
But that's where this story takes a turn you may not expect. And the Vice President of the Confederacy, Stevens, in his cornerstone speech, said that the central reason for secession was preservation of slavery.
Isn't that sad?
And her opinions may put the Confederate monument debate in a different light. And so when people see a large statue of a Confederate soldier standing proud on a pedestal, you see how it can bring memories and symbols of racism and hatred and white supremacy.
Without a doubt, yes, without a doubt.
Why then not just take it down?
Remove them from public display of places and put them in cemeteries, or let them be moved to maybe veterans parks or some other, or maybe even like private parks or private lands. I'm all for that.
We are still fighting today!
The people who argue the war was not about slavery and the monuments must stay probably did not see that coming.
If it's on public property, and because of the issue of slavery, and because we've had so many years in our country of unfairness to minority groups, why not relocate these to places where they can be given the respect they deserve for the veteran service?
Such as a cemetery.
Exactly.
Now, to those who say the South rebelled for states' rights, she agrees about that, but says that ties back to slavery. What would it have been more about if not slavery?
States' rights, and the right to have slaves or not have slaves. Let's be perfectly frank here.
So as she sees it, Confederate monuments honor the rank and file soldiers who may not have known their leaders framed this war on slavery.
They didn't fight to keep slaves, they didn't have slaves.
And we're told no telling what about the cause. A lot of people sympathetic to the Southern cause may be thinking lightning will strike you down.
They might. See, there they are.
On that note, she said it's about time to move inside. But she left us with thoughts on the rebel battle flag that may also surprise people who display it.
The only place that ever deserves to be flown is at the headstone of a Confederate veteran. It doesn't belong in the back of your pickup truck.
What about rebel flip-flops?
Nothing with the Confederate flag
Tube tops.
is off. No, it's irreverent. It's
Thong?
not. No, no. There's nothing that should be. That flag should not be on anything but a flag at a Confederate veteran's grave. That's it.
And as she visits those graves, she remembers how they came together, with Union veterans buried just a few feet away, and how taking down rebel flags and moving Confederate monuments from public land may help us come together as they came together in that spirithood of brotherhood and peace.